My friend just sent me this article, the rental scam one.
Yeah, but the vendor scam thing is, we don't know the full story. That's the issue. But then, like, how can people prevent?
Don't go on Facebook looking for listings.
Don't go on Facebook Marketplace.
Exactly.
I don't understand.
Welcome to For Real. We are four realtors with a whole lot to say, but trust me, it's not just about selling property and closing deals. So let me introduce you to the rest of the gang. Meet Wesley, the optimistic go-getter who believes anything is possible with a bit of manifestation magic. Nicole, our cheerful, charismatic mother and seasoned realtor with stories for days. Shannon, our resident Gen Zer, keeping us in check in case the rest of us say anything too cringe. And I'm Fraser, your localized Angmo, a jack of many trades but a master of none. We're diving into everything and anything, so grab a snack, get comfy, and let's get real.
So that rental scam, I think we have all seen it, where this couple lost the deposit of $7,000, right?
7,000.
I think when I saw that they found this unit through Facebook Marketplace,
There's a red flag already.
there's a reason why we have Property Guru. There's a reason why we have
Regulated marketplace, not Facebook,
not Facebook Marketplace.
Property Guru, I think only agents can sign up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
We can't even change our agency as and when we like. We have to
Go through the proper
go through
channels.
them to show them proof that we have switched agency or change
Yes.
phone number for that matter
Yes.
before they'll update the change in details.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to do a quick summary run through?
No, I don't really know the full story though. I just skimmed through.
I just know that back before I was an agent and I would look at listings on Facebook or Carousel, it's immediately like anyone with, more than one brain cell is like, no, this doesn't look right. This doesn't
But
look right. Especially if you see
normally-
like a bomb shelter up for rent for
Yes.
$3,000. Like, who?
But
Yeah.
normally, Facebook Marketplace is more of the owner themselves listing for
That's
rental.
the problem. That's the
But
problem.
if you see an agent, someone claiming to be an agent posting the listing on Facebook Marketplace, I think that's a little bit shady, man.
Okay,
But
I-
there are property agents posting on Carousel.
And that's why this person is taking advantage of that fact and being a scam because, there are some legit agents on there. But
Yeah.
overall, I don't think Facebook and Carousel or whatever, like the marketplace, right? You should just keep it to the channels that were made specifically for that purpose.
Yes, because it's all regulated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
official.
we pay
Yeah.
good money
Yeah.
The guy's
on
paying
those
money.
platforms.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so expensive.
Yeah, so please stop posting your listings or going to call these agents who are posting listings on Facebook Marketplace. Please.
But I think, do agents really post only on Facebook Marketplace or Carousel and not post it on Property Guru just because it's expensive to post it on Property Guru?
I know not every agent has a Property Guru account,
Yeah.
especially part-time agents. So I think it could be legit that some of them try to post on different channels or even like especially rental cases.
Yeah, for wider reach.
Yeah, because there are also like different platforms or forums where tenants or like
Take over
discuss
lease.
Oh, yes,
all
yes,
that.
yes, that one,
So
yeah.
so I think there could be legit listings in these platforms, but just that because it's so easy for people to post. So I think the likelihood of a scam is higher. So we'll be more careful. And if you are trying to verify an agent, don't just verify the CAA number because the correct CAA number will definitely lead you to the correct agent.
Correct.
Yeah, so you have to make sure the phone number that you're liaising with is the registered phone number of the agent on CAA website. Because
Correct.
yeah.
So like in this case, I just had a brief read through. The agents actually verified the agent's legitimacy.
Wait, the people who got scammed had an agent.
They had an agent. So I think maybe it's the agent friend, or don't know if it's the agent representing them, or the agent
No, I think it's for their current list. I don't think it's the one representing.
or the
Is it? I
agent who
don't know.
represented their purchase. So the context is they are renting for the next 1 to 2 years, waiting for their condo. And they have been renting for the past 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they are not first time renters. They know how to do their due diligence. But I think the lapse here is they got their agent to check this scammer agent's CEA ID tag. So like what Nicole just said, the ID tag number will correspond to the CEA records because it's very easy to just verify like that. So I think the next step is to actually verify the phone number because it's registered to your CEA account. And then the next best thing is to get the actual agent's physical ID tag and match it with his face. Because
Okay. The picture, the ID tag picture, right? There were so many times I see the tag,
No.
the picture. Okay, so the person looked like this. And then
Overly
when I see that in
Photoshopped.
real life, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
I know what you mean.
I think there were a few steps that basically people can try to go through to safeguard themselves. One is to cross-check, okay, I mean CA number, but I think more importantly, the mobile number to the registry. Then 2 is when it comes to transferring money, well, you always ask the agent for like ownership proof and all that. But what I always do is I will buy my own ownership proof
Correct.
and match it with
The one
that they
provided.
gave. Yeah. So because even so it doesn't matter, I don't get ownership proof from you because I bought it directly from the authorities. So then you can verify the authenticity of the ownership.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Then when you do the PayNow transfer, then usually they will reflect the name of the account holder when you key in the mobile number. So to verify that it matches.
But actually for PayNow, right, you can change to any name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So
I think the safer thing is to get the bank statement, even though that can be forged, but you get a bank statement showing the bank account number, the address of the property and everything.
yeah, that's the other one. Or sometimes I think there was a case whereby the PayNow name was different from the official name because they changed it, right? But they did a transfer to themselves with the number and they screenshot something along that line to verify that mobile to the name. Something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
No, if not, then not the most, but you can link it to your NRIC. You tag
That's
it.
the safest.
that's another
So
one.
the first option is I'll get them to transfer to NRIC, but not everybody link their NRIC
No.
to
Yeah.
Correct.
PayNow. Yeah, so then the second preferred is either bank account or if worst case, then mobile number. Yeah, so I think for that case, they actually did get ownership proof, but I think the ownership proof was
forged.
doctored. Yeah, there's few points they could do. But my question is really, whose house is it? Why do they have access to open up for viewing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's dodgy.
So I mean, these kind of things can be avoided. I think it's not worth. I don't know if they are paying their agent commission to go through the transaction for them, or the agent was just a previous agent or the purchase agent who is not involved in this current rental transaction. Because due diligence, it
Was
felt
not
a bit
conducted.
short.
Yeah.
There was due diligence, but not the full one. Actually, when I was just starting out, that was my fear as well. Getting clients to transfer to like the landlord. My concern is, actually, is this agent I'm talking to real? So I will really do a lot of background check because that's what we were taught. Check their number, check their ID card, and then check in person if it matches.
Yeah.
And I think that was at the start of all the scams. So I was very afraid that I make my clients fall victim to scams, even though I did enough due diligence. So I think this one is important. And a bit of inconvenience is worth the hassle.
Yeah, don't be
Yeah.
afraid to ask the agent
Correct.
for verification. If the agent say like, you ask me so much for what, you don't trust me, then
Yeah, then there's
go
something
ahead
shady
with it
already.
I remember during COVID times, I will do video call and say I have to check your IC and everything because they was usually just send the document, right?
Yeah.
So it could be somebody else's IC. I've not seen you that much in person also, right? Or
Sometimes zero interaction.
or your wife or spouse, if both names are to be in the OTP or something. So I actually do a live video call. I get them. It's just like how they do verification. I get them to hold their IC in the screen, and I just screenshot so that I've done my due diligence. And I let them know that this is what I will do, so that PDPA lah. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do better, or in this case, that we can learn from.
So the next big news this morning is the interest rate cut.
Yay.
I mean, expected.
Been waiting for it.
Well,
Yeah,
there are two camps to this. Those people who are riding very high on the high interest rate for their T-bill and all that.
That'd be
To
sad.
like,
Cry a
yeah.
bit.
Especially a lot of the retirees or elderly, they
T-bills,
do
fixed D.
use T-bills, fixed D as the safest way to kind of hold value to their money.
Rather than putting it in the bank.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we all were expecting rate cuts, but I don't know if you all were expecting this much. Usually the cuts will be like 0.25.
I mean, it's above the analyst expectations. And
Put it this
even,
way.
Aggressive.
yeah.
Just like how for those people who are, not going to get such high rates for their fixed deposits and stuff like that. Nothing good lasts forever. Just like how these low interest rates might not last forever too.
But now is the start, the cusp of interest rates falling.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I'll be happy paying cheaper mortgages.
Yeah, so I mean, can refinance now, can plan for a refinance in the next 6 to 12 months, because I think now is just the start of it.
I have a question. So since in the recent months, or maybe even the whole recent year, interest rates from banks have already been slowly coming down, right? And now that we've got the Fed cutting and eventually we'll see the interest rates drop further, do you think they will revert back the stress test?
Oh,
Yeah,
to lower the stress test rates?
To lower the stress test.
I
Do you
think
that's a possibility?
possibly after the market stabilizes.
Mm.
Because now it's still in a, I would say, discovery phase. Price interest rates discovery.
I just saw one of the chats updated. Some of the banks have already reduced their internal stress test percentage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
For how
so
much did they state?
Different banks, different
We're not
different
sponsored,
levels.
but
Keen to know the numbers. Yeah, I think then, I mean, some consumers or people who are looking to buy or sell, their concern is, not concern, the question would be, how will this interest rates affect them? I don't know if it's very clear. Maybe to us agents, it's very clear. But to consumers, it may not, or they may be confused with this piece of information.
I think at least us as agents, we have been expecting this to happen because it's based on past trends and all that we've been studying and stuff. What we can expect to probably happen once interest rates start to drop for mortgages is there'll be a rush of people flooding the market to buy up. Those people who have been waiting for this moment. Yeah. Property prices are going to shoot back up again.
Honestly, based on like data we've seen, when interest rates, regardless interest rates high or low, overall
will always go up.
Yeah,
But how
overall
steep?
price. Yeah. So we may see a short burst in transaction volume and price because there will be sellers thinking, oh, now there's a wider pool of buyers. I have inventory, then I try to be a bit unrealistic. I want to hit price high. But then there are also sellers who are motivated to sell and buy. So there will be a balance in the market to see how it stabilizes that way. But I think mainly it's more for the buyers because then now you have an influx of buyers, you have more competition. The things you like may be snapped up faster than before, or still, I think now is still a good time to buy.
I don't think there will be like a shoot up or like influx. I think there are always, I would expect more transactions because I think there's always underlying demand with our the stability of our country and like population increases, etc. Yeah, but I think definitely there'll be more serious sellers and serious buyers.
The lurkers lah. Possibly buyers who
they may start thinking of taking action.
Like myself.
Yes. Go for it.
Yeah.
Quick.
But because I think overall the whole economic situation is still a bit unpredictable.
Yeah. I mean people are calling for recession, they're fearing. A lot of people are holding on to cash now. So I mean then the flip side is wait for the crash and then lower interest rates and come in if the crash is coming. I think
don't know. I mean, crash or not, I think the TDSR all that help to increase the holding power lah. Yeah, but I do know of people who have been out of jobs for a while and finding it tough to get jobs in certain sectors.
Yeah.
So I think that might
it
really just try to stabilize the whole
correct
situation.
Which I think it's high time that happened.
But I think longer term wise, prices definitely will go up. I mean, inflation is like last time, maybe 20 years ago, you can get a 2-bedroom for 800,000. And 10 years ago, it's like 1 or 1.2 million. Now it's like to get a proper 2-bed, 2-bath, you need a minimum 1.6, 1.7 million.
Crazy.
Yeah. So it's really inflation. You need more money to get the same kind of thing. Yeah.
Stamp duty and all. Don't forget stamp duty.
The other administrative costs also has increased.
Guys, our energy a bit low. Let's keep up the energy higher.
Yeah, so we need to make more money. No, basically there's more demand for things in addition to inflation as well.
I think just with this news alone, there will be a lot more concerns. Singaporeans being Singaporeans, we always have a lot on our minds. And then now that with this interest rate dropping, I would feel that it gives people more options and more things to consider about, which might cloud their judgment.
With that, more confusion.
Yes. For me, it also adds more confusion because there's always two sides to a coin, right? And then I feel like in Singapore right now, yes, we are very stable, but in every few months, there is something that changes the industry. Like it can be the TDSR, or it can be a sudden, like before that was the interest rate, or like you see now prices. Yeah, the war.
Macro or micro changes.
Yeah, Singapore being a very small city, right? These small things always affect us. And as Singaporeans, we like to see long term. We don't just see the immediate effect. We like to think about not even just 1 year later, 5 years later.
The longevity and sustainability of things.
Yes. So then I think in that aspect, many people will also feel the pressure
The
on
fears and
themselves.
concerns.
Yes, there'll be more and more as time goes by. Because if we were to expect prices to go up like faster than what it was a few months back, and yet we don't see it, and then people will start wondering, why like that? So then that is a vicious cycle of worry and concern, and then fear.
I think to the
I think
layman and
interest-
consumers,
yeah.
but then
Yeah.
we have enough research and data. So speak to us. Let us clarify your doubts.
Yeah. I think interest
Really.
rate alone won't be the single factor to push prices and all that. Like at the end of the day, it still come down to supply and demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and affordability based on TDSR or like job stability, economy.
Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
with interest rates dropping, that affects supply and demand.
At the end of the day, it's a big, so-called a big cut, but it's still
It's still high.
small.
Yeah, interest rate
in
still high.
comparative to so many things, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, it's probably going to make a difference of a few $100s to your monthly mortgage.
Correct.
But
It's
it's
not
low
like a
enough.
few $1,000s.
It's low enough for people to jump to who are on the fence to finally go and make their commitment.
I don't think the difference is so because
It's-
at the end of the day, you're still limited by TDSR.
I think it is because people have been, like you say, it's not so significant, right? But it's significant enough for some people to,
For a small pool.
to not move ahead
Yeah.
on a purchase, for example.
So I think this will affect people more on the fence.
Yes.
So there are two things. One is on the fence because either they are at the max already.
Yes.
So this one
exactly.
gives them a bit of breathing room.
Mhm.
However, we have to see how big the pool is.
Yeah.
And there are others who are just they can afford, but they're unwilling because why should I pay so high interest rates? So I think these are the two like different groups. We have to see
And to be fair,
which is the bigger pool.
the bank interest rate has already gone ahead to reduce before this
In
Fed announcement.
anticipation.
Yeah, so actually the rates is 2.8, 2.9% compared to 4% less than a year ago.
Mm.
So I would think that would have enticed people to
Yes.
take action
Correct.
Yeah.
earlier than later.
And
Yeah.
this is only the first cut. Let's see how this plays out in the next 6 to 12 months.
I mean, if it's still like 2+%, I think it's just going to try to stabilize lah. Unless you say it falls back down to 1 or like less than 1%.
1.75.
Yeah. Then if that is the case, then I think there will be more cooling measures coming up.
Yeah.
Knowing Singaporeans, they have this wait and see approach lah.
Yes.
So if no one's buying, I think there'll be like promotions at the start. But if everyone buys, the uptake is so high, then we'll see a flurry of purchases and then maybe another cooling measure for the private market. Hopefully not. But
I didn't want to say anything, but you said it.
yeah, no, I mean, recently we had HDB cooling measure, and
Yeah.
the next probable one would be private.
For private.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the TDSR.
maybe.
Scary for me.
Mm.
So please have it next year. Any?
But because
Please.
anyway, I think the interest rate is still expected to go down even lower. It's just how fast.
Yeah,
Or
so
how
then
soon.
do you think with this announcement, right, people who are looking at that kind of range whereby the monthly mortgage dropping by a few hundred would push them to faster go and buy
I think
the
they may wait.
launches within that's upcoming? Because then by the time they start paying, right, the
True.
percentage, the interest rate will have already dropped to a favorable percent for them to start paying their monthly mortgage.
I think actually now is your ideal time before we see the reaction in the market, before we see
Yes.
the next 3 months. If now you're able to, if you're talking about a BUC context,
Yeah.
within under construction, because I think everyone is still waiting to see. So if you have the foresight to enter now something that is good entry price, regardless of interest rates, because we are using 3 months SORA floating rate, and it's progressive payment.
Yeah, it's progressive.
So your interest payment is not so high.
Yeah.
I think now is a good time lah.
While people
For-
are waiting to see you take action
Yeah.
Yeah.
and vice versa.
And then when they take action, you see your rewards.
For me, I think the fear factor is not so much like trying to catch the lower interest rate because I think it will still trend down. So I won't rush to buy because of that. But
Correct.
my fear would be if there is a change in TDSR, that's going to affect my budget more than the interest rate. Because if interest rate go down, I can pay more monthly. But if my cash is only that amount, I can't increase like 100K
200K.
in 2 weeks because the TDSR changed 5% lesser.
Yeah.
Then I just have to buy like 2 bed to 1 bath instead of 2 bed 2 bath.
Yeah.
So I think that will be my first concern.
Yeah.
Would it be
over-
TDSR or possibly even LTV though?
Or even stamp duty. If they're going to make stamp duty higher, like 5%
Crazy.
or
Don't.
something. Or
Yes. So you heard it here.
all gonna affect.
Take action.
Yeah. With enough considerations, proceed with confidence. Yeah, don't wait and see. Always you wait and see, then you lose out on that 5-10%. But if you need that certainty, of course, wait and see.
Yeah.
Then don't be salty when you pay
when you
more
pay the
premium lah.
extra.
We've seen it in our lifetime as an agent.
At the end of the day, property is not so liquid asset. So I think when it comes to it, especially in Singapore's context where we have SSD and holding
Holding
just make
period,
sure you
holding
have
power.
the holding power and your time horizon to see the returns is further,
Yeah.
because you do have to have the margin of error where there's market correction, etc. So as long as your time horizon is far enough and then your holding power strong enough, your product selection is good,
Let it cook.
then it's better to be time in rather than waiting to go in. Yeah.
Because it's difficult to time the market.
Yeah.
In all investments.
And even more so if you're buying a place to stay, if you really need a roof over your head, then I'd rather you be paying into your own principal so that you have, it's like a forced savings into your mortgage so that you have a bigger budget to work with when the time comes for you to upgrade or, have more savings for your retirement in that sense. Because in Singapore's context, by the time you're 65, you're going to finish paying your mortgage. Do you want to end up with, for example, a 800,000 HDB flat or a 2 million condo, which then if you do downsize or right size by then, you have cash flow for retirement by the time you're 65 lah.
Yeah, so plan for the long term, people. Unless you want to live fast, die young. Huh? Is it?
To our viewers and listeners, we would love to hear from you too. So if you have any opinions or thoughts you'd like to share, do let us know in the comments. Don't forget to also drop us a like, share, comment, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff if you haven't already. And be sure to catch us here again next week. So until then, thanks for joining us here on For Real.